Consider marketing as an invitation to your families, where each part, the branding, the enrollment process, the communication, is supporting your program's goals and helps families see what's unique about your center. A well rounded marketing plan doesn't just bring in new families, it's building a reputation, it's fostering trust, and it can create loyal advocates who help grow your center through word of mouth. Your marketing is how people will think of your program. After 40 years in childcare, I've experienced it all: the laughter, the challenges, and the burnout. I'm Debra Rinell, and I'm here to share the realities of childcare leadership with you. Starting as an unexpected entrepreneur facing the pressures of leadership, I've been through the same struggles that you are likely navigating today. More importantly, I discovered strategies to not just survive, but truly thrive in this rewarding field, and I'm ready to share it all with you. Ready to elevate your center and reignite your passion for childcare? Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Care and Connect, the Childcare Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Debra Rinell, and today we're diving into one of the most essential topics for any childcare leader looking to grow their center. And I'm talking, of course, about marketing for revenue growth in childcare. Revenue is one of the 4 quadrants of the Care for method, and marketing is one of its supporting pillars. As we'll discuss today, marketing is not just about advertising. Common misunderstanding among many business owners, not only childcare owners and operators. Advertising is an execution of marketing, if you think of it in that way, not the actual marketing itself, which can be more multi-layered in its approach. It involves branding, strategic enrollment processes, and building relationships that can bring long-lasting returns. So where advertising is something that you may do, one ad at a time, and it will vary in its application between billboards, magazine ads, flyers, just as examples. Marketing is more of a long-term, ongoing roadmap of which advertising is just one piece. So whether you're a seasoned childcare owner or you're just starting out, this episode will provide you with insights that you can put to work right away. So let's start by redefining what marketing really means for childcare centers specifically, and understanding marketing beyond advertising. As mentioned in the introduction, marketing isn't just about ads. And while advertising is important, it's only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Effective marketing is a strategy that is going to combine branding, targeted advertising, your enrollment processes that are designed to bring long-term success. And if you're not 100% sure on the branding of your program, stay tuned because we'll be talking about that as well. At the heart of all marketing for childcare, we want to attract the right families who will value and benefit from what we have to offer. No 2 childcare programs are identical or going to be the same, and childcare formats are as varied as their families. It's not simply a difference between centers or family homes or faith-based programs. It's about demographic needs, cultural needs, even educational needs. So as business owners, we can choose what type of program we want to offer, be it Spanish immersion, STEAM, Christian, Reggio, or any other type of childcare program that a family may be interested in. Marketing is how we establish who we are as well as what we offer. So consider marketing as an invitation to your families, where each part, the branding, the enrollment process, the communication, is supporting your program's goals and helps families see what's unique about your center. A well-rounded marketing plan doesn't just bring in new families, it's building a reputation. It's fostering trust, and it can create loyal advocates who help grow your center through word of mouth. Your marketing is how people will think of your program and how they will share the core components of what you have to offer when talking about your program to others. So, the first thing that if you were to hire someone for marketing is going to ask you is, what is your differentiator? So, let's talk a little bit about differentiation and audience connection. What's the importance of differentiation? What is it that sets you apart from other childcare centers in your area? And I want to encourage you on this to take the time to think about this, even brainstorm with trusted team members. Sometimes something you see as just a standard way of doing business is actually a differentiator to other programs in your area. You may know what your vision is in setting yourself apart, but don't forget to get that feedback from your team and even the families that you're serving on what makes you different. Maybe you have a specialized curriculum, extended hours, or a strong emphasis on a warm, nurturing environment. Identifying your differentiator and making it clear in your marketing materials helps families understand why they should choose your center. Some of you may recall the greatest differentiator of Nordstrom's department store was that they always took things back, always refunded, no matter whether you had a receipt or not. And in some of the most bizarre cases, it wasn't even a product that Nordstrom sold, but they would still take it back. They still accepted returns. That was a differentiator for them in the department store industry at that time. One of the things that I did as a standard business practice was that I put out coffee in Danish for our customers who were dropping their children off. And for me, it just seemed like the hospitable thing to do for our customers on their way to work. We've always served breakfast to the children as they arrived, but that told me that it was pretty unlikely our customers had much time for breakfast for themselves. Little did I know how much that small thing would mean. One parent told me that a coworker asked her where she stopped each morning for her coffee in Danish. I guess when she said our daycare, the coworker wanted to know which daycare does that. The thing is, until that customer shared that story, I had no idea that we were doing anything unusual. This is why I say that when creating your list of differentiators, be sure those familiar with your program offer their thoughts. You may be surprised at what you're already doing that sets you apart. So, this is going to lead us to what I call the hero concept, and that is knowing your ideal customer. Think of it as defining who you are a hero for. Perhaps you're a hero for working parents who need flexible hours. Maybe you're a hero for families looking for a curriculum-rich program or families in need of English language learning programs. Understanding this and tailoring your message in your marketing to address their needs, their preferences, and challenges will make your marketing much more effective. We have a tendency sometimes, I think, to put on blinders when it comes to our program and thinking, well, we're just the same as any other program, right? We offer childcare. But the fact is that your ideal customer chose you out of a lot of other choices. So dial in on what those factors are, what you champion as part of your core values and mission. And then you can bring into greater focus who exactly it is that you are a hero for. As an example, a program focusing on early childhood development might highlight educational activities, while a program with extended hours could emphasize convenience for working parents. When you know your audience, your message will resonate better and help you stand out from the crowd. So, I promised you that we were going to talk a little bit about branding. It's kind of become a buzzword these days, but for a good reason. It's an important part of your marketing strategy. And it's one of the cornerstones of effective marketing. So, in the world of childcare, where trust and safety are paramount, this is where your branding becomes especially crucial. Branding goes beyond a logo or a catchy tagline, It's about crafting an experience that reflects your center's missions and values. I like to say that the closer your logo alone can depict your mission and values, the more likely it is to resonate with your ideal customer. Of course, your logo needs to have your company name, website, or both, but don't let that overshadow the message that your logo conveys. Our logo, as example, is simply an outline of a woman holding a child. I love this logo, as do our families, because the woman could be a mother, an aunt, a grandparent, teacher, and it goes to the heart of our core values that everyone is someone's child. Its simplicity is its elegance. Select a logo that literally makes you say, yes, this is us. A strong brand identity communicates reliability and professionalism. Everything from your logo and website to the tone you use in emails and newsletters builds your brand's credibility. When parents see consistent, polished branding, they feel more confident that your program is a reliable choice for their child. Creating a brand is also about connecting emotionally. Parents will be more likely to remember you if they feel that your program aligns with their values and meets their needs. Think of some of the big brands and their taglines. Nike's, just do it. McDonald's, I'm loving it. These brands communicate their values without having to spell them out. While your child care center may not be a global brand like Nike, the same principles apply. If your logo, mission, and marketing tell your story, you'll make a lasting impact. This is important too for those who are not yet in need of childcare or may never need childcare. Why? Well, those who don't need it yet are thinking about that day and thinking about who they will entrust the care of their children to. I know I did. And those who may never need it generally know people who do. And those people tend to be their family and friends where like-minded values might exist. If your values and mission come across in your marketing and are in alignment with those not necessarily in need of your services, you have a greater chance of their mentioning your program when talking to those they know who do need childcare. So now we're going to move a little bit more into the advertising part of the marketing, and that is with leveraging digital tools. So in today's digital age, having a strong online presence is critical. And I know that kind of goes against the grain for some folks. Online is one of those love it or hate it kind of propositions where it can do a lot of good things and it can also be not so great. So let's explore how your center can leverage digital tools to reach and engage with families. So first and foremost, a user-friendly and informative website is essential. This is where your potential families are going to go to learn about your program. They're going to see what your staff qualifications are. They're going to look at your curriculum, safety measures, and hopefully even see testimonials from happy parents. And if you don't have those testimonials on your website, but you do have a website, then talk to your web developer about getting those on there. A website alone, though, in today's climate is no longer enough. Parents today are online. Many of them are on social media. Also something that we have love-hate relationships with, right? So platforms like Facebook and Instagram are great tools for showcasing your program's highlights, upcoming events, or just everyday moments of joy in your center. So digital advertising is a powerful tool, and it allows you to target specific demographics in your area. If you're new to digital advertising, I wanted to share too just a quick tip that you don't have to spend a fortune to see results. Many social media platforms will let you even set a modest budget as low as like $5 a day to boost a post or something along those lines. And that allows you to test which of the messages that you're putting out there are resonating with the families in your community. So for very little outgo, you can actually run your own marketing analysis as to which posts or ads are going to garner the greatest attention, which informs your marketing going forward so you can get a little bit more bang for your buck with your advertising dollars. A strong online presence builds trust and it lets families get to know you even before they walk through your door. And then one final little caveat I want to mention about social media posting, and that is the use of photographs. Be sure that you have permission from families to use the photograph and be specific about what their photographs are going to use for. This really doesn't have anything to do with marketing, but this is a security issue, and I feel like it would be irresponsible not to mention to be sure that you get their permission. Another option that you could do is use what is called closed groups. And that is where only your families that are already enrolled, have access to what you're posting. Now, this doesn't work for advertising, but it definitely does work for the security side of posting the photos of children in your care. For the advertising piece on social media, you can just keep that generic, with using some online graphics or images of your center or program without using specific children's images. Okay, so after that little caution tip on security, let's jump into talking about enrollment and waitlist management. And I know that in thinking about marketing, you're wondering how enrollment and waitlist management can be a part of it. Well, a strategic enrollment process is another important piece of the puzzle. One crucial decision that you should make before launching any advertising is choosing between two primary enrollment methods and which one you lean towards. There's a simple sign-up process where more or less anyone who wishes to enroll is able to do so, provided you have space available. The second is a more in-depth application process, which has its process in its name, application. And it lets families know up front that you have a vetting process for enrollment. Whichever enrollment strategy you use, you want to be sure and include it in your marketing because transparency builds trust. There's nothing worse than a family and their child touring your program, becoming excited about enrolling, right? Because you're putting your best foot forward. You're telling them all these wonderful things. You're sharing your differentiators. And then they learn that they may not be able to enroll. Being blindsided like that can leave a sour taste. And even if their application is eventually approved, you could still lose the enrollment. And even if you're doing a sign-up method, but you know that a certain age group is full, you want to be transparent about this information. Conventional thinking, I think largely before the internet, was that it was unwise to share your rates. And some programs I know still adhere to this policy, preferring instead that a potential enrollee phones or makes an appointment to receive a quote on their childcare needs. I understand the sales strategy behind this thinking, but it's not one that I can tell you that I'm a strong proponent of due to our desire to be transparent. In fact, families can go to our website and put in their childcare needs and receive a quote right then and there. We feel this still benefits our marketing needs as we collect their information and permission to send them marketing materials, such as newsletters and announcements, in exchange for being able to use that online calculator. So, how do you know whether you want to use sign up or enrollment or application? Well, with sign up enrollment, parents can quickly secure a spot for their child, which is going to be appealing for those families who need care right away. And we see a lot of that, don't we? When do you need care? Yesterday. However, the application enrollment process allows for a more selective process where you can ensure greater fit between the families in your center's mission. And in thinking about transparency, the application process allows time for both your program and the family to learn about one another and make an agreed upon determination of compatibility. This is starting the relationship out already connected. I would also argue that the application process may lay the foundation for a longer lasting relationship because you've both kind of had the opportunity to vet out any questions and concerns before enrollment begins. In the sign up process, these things sort of tend to come up after the family's enrolled, their child's attending, and, as questions come up, they're addressed. And sometimes that can lead to their being blindsided. But either way, whether it's sign up process or application process, the key is aligning your process with the goals and values of your center and then making that process transparent in your marketing. And then, of course, there's the waitlist management. In today's climate of childcare shortage, a well-organized waitlist can minimize gaps in enrollment and provide a more predictable source of future income for your program. Communicating regularly with families on the waitlist and organizing waitlist exclusive events can help keep them engaged. And this way, they're going to be more likely to enroll when a spot becomes available and they already feel like part of your community. And, I know a lot of times if you don't have space, they just move on to the next program that does, and using the sign up process a lot of times. But I will tell you that I would encourage you to continue to stay in contact with them because families who have enrolled somewhere so quickly, they were just looking for a space and it may not be everything they were hoping for. And if you're staying in contact with them when you do have a space that comes open, it's highly likely that they still want to be a part of your program. And if they're your ideal customer, then odds are you're going to be a better fit for them and they for you. So whether it's through email updates, waitlist events, newsletters, reinforce the bond between these families and your center. And what I like best about effective wait list management, I'll say, is that you're establishing ongoing transparency with potential new families. I think one of the biggest mistakes, I understand that we all get busy, but I think the biggest mistake is to simply put someone on a wait list and tell them to keep checking. That's not someone hoping to have my business or a relationship with me, where I have to be proactive. I have to keep checking. And I get it. We get busy. And you know what? Being full with a wait list is a good problem. But the best practice, in my opinion, is to develop a process that allows the center to keep checking in with the potential new families and using that time before an opening becomes available to establish a relationship with them. Building partnerships, engaging with your local community, that's another powerful way to strengthen your center's presence and reputation. And yes, it is very much a part of your marketing strategy. Collaborate with nearby businesses that serve families like pediatric clinics, children's toy stores, family-friendly cafes. You could display your brochures at their location, organize a family event together. Networking with fellow businesses that your ideal customer is already using is a great way for you to build credibility and drive business to your program. Another way to build community is by hosting open houses or workshops. Parent workshops are very popular, or sometimes even parent-child workshops. These events give parents a firsthand look at your center's facilities and allow them to experience your program's unique qualities. Parents who feel a connection to your center, they're not just clients, they're advocates. And in many cases, parents who feel a sense of community with your center gladly refer friends and family which further grows your reach and your impact exponentially. So we have reached that time where I need to wrap it up. Let me just recap some key points around marketing for your childcare program. We've talked about the importance of a strong, unique brand that communicates trust, the power of knowing your target audience, who are you a hero for, using digital tools to expand your reach, and creating a strategic enrollment process. We've also highlighted how fostering community relationships and using waitlists strategically make a significant difference. For more information on childcare management, I would invite you to hop on over to our website at www.cms.help. Check out our membership plans. You can join and network with other childcare owners, share insights, and further ideas for growing a thriving and profitable childcare program. Thank you again for tuning in to Care and Connect, the Childcare Leadership Podcast. I hope you found this episode valuable and that it gives you a few new ideas to try. Remember, marketing isn't just a one-time effort. It's about creating an ongoing, meaningful connection with the families that you serve. So until next time, keep caring, keep connecting, and keep leading. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on this journey through this rewarding world of childcare leadership. Remember that we're all navigating this together. Whether you're feeling challenged or feeling motivated, know that when you take time to be the visionary of your program, you can elevate your center and ignite your passion. Until next time, I'm Debra Rinell, reminding you to take care of yourself with the same dedication you give to others.